A lot of people have stopped buying luxury. And I think the price increases have finally caught up with the industry.
The average price of luxury goods has increased on average by 52% since 2019.
Over the last 8 years, the Chanel medium classic flap has gone up a whopping 120%.
Fake fashion has become big business.
This is a fake Chanel bag.
As far as fakes go, they're pretty good. I mean, I'd buy them.
For centuries, brands like Chanel, Gucci, and Louis Vuitton have set the standard for quality, exclusivity, and craftsmanship. But today, something's shifted. The prices are skyrocketing, the products are harder to get, and the desire to own them has, for many, become unattainable. So what's going on? Why are prices for luxury goods climbing higher than ever before? And more importantly, why are so many consumers finding themselves priced out of the market? In 2025, the luxury industry is facing a crisis, and a Vogue article from earlier this month titled "Luxury is Too Expensive, What Should Brands Do?" has shone a spotlight on these issues. And today we're deep diving into the real story behind this trend. From pricing strategies to the impact of super fakes, we're exploring everything that's affecting luxury today. It wasn't long ago that a luxury handbag, say from Louis Vuitton, was a major purchase. Yes, but was still within the reach of those who earned a solid six-figure salary. A few $1,000s for a leather bag, it felt like an investment. Fast forward to 2025 and the same bag is now $5,000 to $7,000 at retail. And the bigger question remains, why are we seeing price increases at such a rapid pace? According to a report by HSBC, the average price of personal luxury goods in Europe has risen by 54% since 2019, with similar increases seen worldwide. That's significantly higher than inflation or the cost of living. So what's driving this? On one hand, you have the brand's desire to preserve exclusivity. Luxury isn't just about the product, it's about the perception of scarcity. The less you have something, the more it's worth. On the other hand, the rising cost of raw materials and labor are making it more expensive to produce the items. But these are only some of the factors behind some of these ridiculous prices. The real story lies in the marketing strategy and shifts in consumer behavior. First, let's talk about the pricing strategy that's been a core part of luxury brands for years. Scarcity. Let's use Hermes as an example. For decades, they've mastered the art of limiting supply. The Birkin bag, for example, is notorious for its scarcity. If you're able to get one at retail, it could cost anywhere from £10,000 to £150,000, depending on the material. But the truth is, most people who want a Birkin won't be able to find one in store. Hermes doesn't mass produce their bags. They purposefully restrict supply, keeping the demand high and the price tag even higher. And the same holds true for brands like Rolex. A Rolex Daytona, a popular model among collectors, has been priced at around £10,000 for years, but today it can easily fetch £50,000 on the secondary market. Despite being the same model, using the same materials and being made by the same brand, Rolex doesn't want to flood the market. They keep production numbers low to ensure that their watches stay valuable. This pricing strategy of higher prices and limited availability is controversial for some, but effectively it works. However, depending on how you look at it, the downside is that it's pricing out a large portion of consumers. So here's where things get even more interesting. Enter the world of super fakes, counterfeit goods that are so close to the real thing it's practically impossible to tell them apart. And I'm not talking about low quality knockoffs, I'm talking about counterfeit luxury products that are made with the same materials, sometimes even by the same factories as the originals. And I actually did a dedicated video on super fakes that I will link down in the description box for you guys if you were interested in learning more about them. These super fakes are growing more sophisticated each year. A Louis Vuitton bag, for example, that costs £3,500 in store could be replicated for just £500. Same leather, same stitching, and even sometimes the same logo. It's no wonder that consumers are being seduced by the price difference. But what does this mean for luxury brands? For starters, it erodes trust. Consumers are beginning to question the value of what they're buying. Is a £10,000 Rolex really worth it when a similar piece can be found found online for a fraction of the price, the entire allure of exclusivity starts to fade when people feel like they can get the same thing without paying the full price. Super fakes have become so mainstream. There was a time where fakes were really frowned upon and even seen as socially deviant, but super fakes have become so mainstream that even social media influencers are showcasing them. People are more willing to buy counterfeit products because they feel they can fake it till they make it. But it's not just super fakes that are shaking up the market. There's another massive trend that's reshaping luxury consumption: the resale market. Second-hand luxury goods are booming, and platforms like the Real, Vestiaire Collective and eBay are at the forefront of this change. What was once considered taboo is now totally mainstream. In fact, the resale market for luxury goods is growing by 12% annually and is projected to be worth over $350 billion by 2027. Consumers today are more inclined to buy a pre-owned Louis Vuitton bag or a pre-loved Rolex than ever before. And ultimately, this is because these items retain their value and allow consumers to access luxury at a lower price point. Resale platforms have made luxury accessible again, and not just by lowering prices. These platforms authenticate each piece, ensuring most of the time that buyers are getting the real deal. This has made second-hand shopping safer and more desirable, especially among younger, more conscious consumers who value sustainability and quality over the lure of buying something brand new. Moreover, the rise of resale is helping to challenge the status quo in the luxury market. When you know you can buy a luxury bag, wear it for a few years and then sell it for a similar price, why would you want to pay full price? Brands are feeling the pressure, and some are even starting to partner with these platforms to ensure their authenticity and maintain control over the second-hand market. Although the second-hand market is growing, I think that there is definitely space for them to improve around authentication. Although they are growing in popularity, I think some consumers do still have some reservations around buying from resale sites because they are concerned about receiving a fake, and receiving counterfeits from these resale sites is actually not super uncommon. You can look online, even here on YouTube, and see stories from content creators who have bought from these resale sites and received a counterfeit bag, and even sometimes faced loads of challenges trying to return it and get their money back. And so I think there is still loads of work for them to do. However, they definitely have the attention of these luxury brands and are making them rethink their strategy. So if consumers are buying less and resale markets are booming, why are luxury brands still raising their prices? Well, for one, it's about perceived value. The idea is that as prices go up, the brand becomes more exclusive, which makes the product more desirable. But there is more to it than that. Rising production costs, shortages in raw materials, and the cost of skilled labor have all contributed to higher prices. However, the inflation effect isn't the sole reason luxury prices are climbing. Some brands justify these hikes by touting the craftsmanship behind the product. They point to the quality of materials, hand-stitched leather, exotic skins, rare metals, making these products seem even more elite. And some of it is true. Many luxury brands do offer incredible craftsmanship, and there are skilled artisans who handcraft every detail. But the question is, how much of the price tag is really about quality and how much is about exclusivity? And I think that consumers are asking this question more and more, even with the rise of content creators who are creating videos deconstructing bags and sharing the tangible value of what these items actually are. It has really worked to make customers think a bit deeper about what they're buying and whether it's actually worth it. And so even with all this exclusivity, rising prices and limited availability, the luxury industry is facing a slowdown. The economic landscape has changed, and younger consumers in particular are reevaluating what luxury means to them. They're looking for sustainability, innovation, and something more meaningful than just a logo. I think luxury brands are definitely going to have to innovate or face further trouble. The future of luxury is going to look very different. Brands like Gucci are beginning to integrate sustainable practices into their production methods, focusing on transparent sourcing and environmentally conscious manufacturing. This shift isn't just about being green, it's about aligning their values with the modern consumer. As we move forward, the brands that are able to tap into these values of younger consumers, those who prioritize quality, sustainability, and authentic craftsmanship over fleeting trends and consumption, will be the ones that survive. So what do you think? Are luxury brands pricing themselves out of the market? Is the era of the traditional luxury experience over? With super fakes, resale markets, and changing consumer behaviors, the future of luxury definitely seems more uncertain. The question for luxury brands is this: can they adapt to the changing world, or will they be left behind? If the market's evolution is anything to go by, it's time to rethink everything we thought we knew about luxury.